Okay, so I'll just try to do a short recap of our previous lecture. One of the things I recommend, which we did on the last lecture, was vocabulary development. That is, develop the right grammar, the right tenses, and the right expression to score a very good mark in Ielts writing. Okay, so that's where I am coming from, and from there I'm just going to highlight some things before I go into this lecture. I discovered that most of our online guide, some of them will say when you're about to start the first after writing your introduction, you are about to start the first paragraph after the introduction, you need to say firstly or first of all or to start with. Okay, I said that yes, averagely 90-95% of Ielts writers starts with that. But if you can see on my slide here, I have given some transitions that can help you in your writing. I just decided to be doing that for the sake of people who would not necessarily go through all the vocabulary development video. I said notably amongst the consequence of migration, especially on country of origin, is brain drain. So I want to discuss, in this paragraph, I want to discuss the consequence of migration. And I am starting with notably amongst the consequence of migration, especially on the country of origin, is brain drain. Okay, the next paragraph, if I have anything to say, instead of saying furthermore, another more vexing part of immigration is capital flights. Instead of saying just furthermore, you don't need to necessarily say furthermore every time. You can develop better ways of transitions. Okay, if you are going to discuss a third point, because most telling effect of migration, okay, is the ripple effect of population exposure and culture shock. But please don't use just this transition anyhow, because I am trying to say the second transition, which is another more vexing, that is has a more devastating impact than the first one. That's what I meant. And I said the most telling effect. That's why I'm comparing three things. That's why I use most. So these are good transitions to use when you are writing your essay, not necessarily use first of all or firstly or secondly or thirdly. Okay, so after that I will go into this lecture, and I'm going to be treating writing one for general writers. As much as writing one does not carry much mark like writing two, it is also good that I emphasize it because it carries 1/3 of the old mark, so you can afford to just do it the way you like. You need to follow some proper structure and standards. Okay, for those just joining us, I say welcome. So for the writing structure, I said these are the writing types. Number one, letter writing, if you are a general writer. Number two, if you are an academic writer, you will either be interpreting diagram, charts, or graph. I'm still trying to place where to put it. Possibly on Wednesdays, maybe I'll be attending to academic people, or the next class I will just know how to fix them, because I know in the majority we have those doing general, but that notwithstanding, I need to still attend to them. So the third, the second part, which is general for everyone, is essay. So, but today I will be dealing with the letter writing, and if there is time, I can start any of the second parts, either for the academic or the essay write-up. Okay, so I said something, according to my slide, the letter writing could be a formal letter, it could be semi-formal, and or informal letter. So the letter could be of any form. So it could be a letter to a brother, letter to a sister, a letter to a company, application letter, a letter to a newspaper. So basically, you should be ready to write any of those. So now I said most notably, though I normally say that the letter writing has three parts, but I have come to realize that most of the time they have four parts, though some can still be restricted to three. The first part is the introduction of your letter. Okay, one thing, I'm going to be showing a sample letter that I drafted before this class. In previous classes, I have shown them samples, but I have drafted a new one. And if possible, I'm going to write another variation of the same letter I showed here. Okay, I said introduction, you need to, some letter needs you to introduce yourself. I am this person and I'm writing for this purpose. But the most important thing about introduction is that an introduction should carry the main reason or purpose of the letter. An introduction should not contain salutation. If you are writing an informal letter, maybe somebody close to you, you can say, okay, long time, then go straight to the point. Don't use a major part of the introduction to do greetings. That's not the way letters are written. So the introductory part of your letter should carry the main purpose. You shouldn't be discussing at length, please. It should carry the main purpose of the letter. Okay, now let me show you a sample of the draft I have written before. Okay, this is one. Your local newspaper wants to reward people who have contributed a lot to the community. Write a letter to the newspaper. In your letter, suggest someone who deserves the award, the reward. Mention what they have done to the community. Say what reward you would like to give the person, this person. Write about 150 words. You do not need to write address. Most letters in Ielts, you are instructed not to write the address. So now, the next thing, look at it. Dear editor, possibly, okay, this one I wrote a heading, not compulsory, but you see what I've highlighted in red. I write in response to your advertisement. Okay, I added mine. I named a newspaper in the Nigerian Times dated 25th September 2018 requesting nominees for recognition and award to outstanding members of the community. The letter has captured the main essence, or the introduction has captured the main essence of the letter. That's what an introduction, the first statement you would be making, or the first paragraph, is an introduction. It should capture the main purpose of your letter, not for storytelling, not for greeting. Okay, let me go to another sample that I provided. Okay, this one, you borrowed some books from your school or college library. Unfortunately, you have to go away to visit a sick relative and cannot return the book on time. Write a letter to the library, explain what has happened, and tell them what you want to do about it. You should write at least 150 words, and you do not need to write your own address. Okay, so you are told not to write your own address. Possibly you can construct school address. Okay, look at the first introduction that I have done here. I just wrote this evening. I'm writing this letter to request for extension to the deadline for returning the 3 books I borrowed from the library on the 14th January 2018 and was slated for return 10th February 2018. The main purpose is I want to seek extension. Yes, I have an alibi, that is, I have an excuse. My alibi is because my sister is sick, but since I couldn't capture that properly, I just said the purpose is I want to seek extension from the school. I will further explain why I'm seeking the extension, but the purpose here is to seek extension or possibly seek not to be penalized. But here I have categorically stated that I need extension of dates. That is the purpose of the letter. So, okay, so we need to be fully conscious of this way or system of writing a letter so that your letter is well structured and coordinated. The same way most of us are paying attention to essay is the way you need to pay attention to your letter. Okay, so now I've given a typical case of an introduction. So let me now go to the other part. So then the other part is the main body. When you get to the main body, you will have to discuss every point separately when they are not related. Yes, if they are related, you can combine the points. So according to this letter, let me see the one that I want to focus on today. This one is particularly saying, okay, you need to explain what happened. Then tell them what you would do. Yes, so those are the key tasks. Explain what happened and tell them what you would do about it. Okay, so you have 2 main tasks now to attack because you've introduced the fact that, okay, you need an extension because you cannot submit the book on time. Then you tell them what happened, why you are not submitting on time, because you have to attend to a family member that is sick. Okay, so when you come to part 2 now, I am seeking this extension of submission because I have a family emergency and to avoid paying stipulated fine for late return of the books. So this is another paragraph. This is not absolutely compulsory, but I just said, let me summarize again another point why I am seeking the extension, why I am actually writing the letter. First was to seek extension. The second was to avoid being fined. I couldn't combine both in the first sentence without having a cumbersome or a very lengthy sentence. So I decided to come to the next paragraph to give a further explanation to my point. Okay, I can see you are raising your hand. Just give me a couple of minutes. I will let you make your observation or contribution. So that is what I have done. So I can say this is a codicil or an attachment to introduction, but my introduction has been straight to the point. Okay, so the second part, I say every point you need to be discussed need to be in a separate paragraph. Okay, so I came here, I now went into details. So please let me just come back to the person who wants to make a comment, and then We will come back. Please, someone is writing on the screen. Please don't talk with the screen. I will sorry, I will clean the screen now, but first of all, I need to, the person that wants to talk, I want to attend to the person. Please talk. The person with Techno Povio 2, you were raising your hand. Can you talk, please? So, oh, sorry, I unmute someone. I think the screen is just rearranging itself. Okay, can you please go ahead and make your contribution or your observation? Are you having issue with the volume? Because I've unmuted you from this side, but I can still hear you. Okay, or maybe you are just trying to understand the screen because I can't hear you. Okay, or better still, you can send a chat. Please do that. Send a chat. Okay. So let me continue from where I stopped. So I said, now in the body of the letter, then I can go into my narration of what happened. I said I had borrowed 3 books on the 14th February to complete my course on business development and strategy, which was due for submission on the 9th of February. However, I got a call from home on the 7th of February regarding my sister who was hospitalized due illness. So in my haste, I packed and took the next flight to be by her, but I took the 3 books along just to complete my assignment, oblivion of the due date of return. This was indicating that I forgot at that moment the due date of return based on my circumstance. So I have gone into narration and explained what happened. So the next thing that I will be doing now is to tell them what I will do. Okay, so I came here to the next paragraph and said, due to my present circumstance, okay, I'm referring to the fact that I'm still caught with my sister that is sick. I won't be able to return the books on the slated due date, but will do so as soon as I'm back on campus on the 20th of February. So I just, based on my predicament, I hope this is not absolutely necessary. I'm just making a repetition. Based on my predicament, I hope a waiver of fine is granted. Okay, so that's what I call a gentle conclusion. Then I came, so that is the part. So this, I have completed my task from this statement. I have completed the task I am given. So one of the things you need to particularly pay attention to is the fact that you need to attend to everything you are told to do. And please express yourself as super as possible. I said super, don't let us, okay, for those who attended the vocabulary development on Tuesdays, I emphasize it, you need to deviate or go away from using everyday common expressions that are not acceptable in English or that lowers your mark. You need to bring those expressions into your writing too. You can see what I have constructed here. I'm possibly going to do a rewrite of the version of this letter again, right here in our presence. So use standard English to convey your message. instead of repeating myself due to the fact that I'm with my sister, I'd said due to my present circumstance, I won't be able to return the books on the slated due date. Yes, I try to bring in those words to give me more marks. Okay. So, and here I said in my haste, I packed and took the next flight to be by her. But I took the, okay, if I could replace this word took, because I'm using took in the same sentence twice. Okay, if I can replace it, it will be good to replace it. If I can't, I will go ahead. I took the 3 books along just to complete my assignment, oblivion of the due date of return. Okay, so that's the thing. So the task has been completed. Now, number 3 parts, because I was introducing us to the main parts. I said write a polite conclusion and closing. Yes, not absolutely compulsory. That's why sometimes you can say you just have 3 parts. But if you're able to write a gentle, a polite conclusion, okay, I hope to hear from you soon. I hope my suggestions are considered. Okay, those things are just polite conclusion and closing. Okay, then the next thing to do is to do the salutation. As small as it is, please do not forget to write it. Yours sincerely, yours faithfully. Even if it is an informal letter, bye for now, Jane. Yes, you are talking to your friend, you still need to salute. Not necessarily very formal. Okay, bye for now, Jane. Goodbye, Jane. Goodbye, Jerry. Yes, those could be used for informal letters. Okay, that is it. Okay, so now, please, if you have any question before I move ahead, please let me know. I don't want to unmute at the same time because most of us are demanding for recording, and I discovered that if I unmute at the same time, background of people affect the recording badly, and the people who will listen to it later on would not enjoy it at all. So please indicate this. Either you send a text board, or if you know how to use the board, you indicate by raising your hands up that you want to make a comment, so that I can allow you speak and I won't be just racing along. Okay, so that's the way it is for letter, but I am going to rewrite that version that we just did. And okay, Odushina Abiodun, you indicate that you want to talk. I'll mute you now. Just give me a minute. And if possible, while I'm writing my own, if you can write your own. Yes, because some people after the class, they won't even have time to practice. If you can first of all write an introduction, you can just send to me on the as a text, type it. Yes, that will be good, so that everybody will have a feel of it. Okay, okay, please, Odushina Abiodun, can you make your comment or suggestion now? Hello? Odushina Abiodun, because... Hello? Okay, no problem. I can't seem to hear him. So we'll go back. I will be displaying the question again. So as many people that have the time, Please write your introduction. Your introduction does not need to follow my own pattern because I want to also write another introduction here for you to see because it can follow various patterns. Okay, someone has sent a test. Can I end it as, I didn't get that. I didn't get your full text. Maybe something is missing. Yes. Can I end it as complete, Mr. Kunle? Yes, you are the one that sent it. Okay, let me go back to the slide. Okay, you are still typing. Okay, no problem. Just type it in a good sentence so that I can see it. Okay, so let me go back to the slide and then possibly, first of all, write an introduction. Okay, let me add another slide to be able to write a proper introduction. Okay. Miss Ellen. Okay, I said my name is Isaac, a student of the university with IDO. Okay, I borrowed 2 books from the library on the 14th of January, but would not be able to return them as when due. Okay, as when due for family emergency. Okay, so that is it. I have simply written an introduction now, so you can see. This is another variant way to write an introduction. So you can write your introduction in any format, but it must capture the purpose. Here I am telling them I can't return the book on time because of, so I am not making the basis of seeking extension the main focus here, but I have still captured the idea. Okay, okay, some people have sent text. I will check their text now. Okay. Okay, you said, I hope my plea will be considered. Okay, yes. I hope my plea will be given due consideration. You said hope. No, you need to write a proper sentence. I hope my plea will be considered. Okay, yes, it is okay. Yes, you can have, you are asking if one can have many paragraphs for the body. Yes, if you have about 2 tasks and there is no way to mix them up, you need to, number one, for the purpose of word count, you want to properly explain some in details. It's better you separate the what we call it. You separate your paragraph or your task, the different tasks into different paragraphs. So no one is penalizing you for having too many paragraphs in a letter. Most times you will need to have like 3, 4 paragraphs or 3 paragraphs or 2. The purpose is you need to be coordinated and your letter needs to be well structured. Yes, that's the purpose for having paragraphs. Don't just lump all your ideas together in a paragraph. So I hope I've been able to answer Odushina Abiodun and Mr. Kunle's answer. You can conclude with yours faithfully, okay? Yours sincerely, if it's formal letter or semi-formal, but you can be less formal if you are writing to a relative or someone you're familiar with. You can just say bye for now, hope to see you next time, things like that. Yes, you can, it is yours sincerely, the yours with an S. I do not understand this question from Justin. You say, is it appropriate to end your salutation with yours sincerely when you already have AS in the title? I don't understand that. Can you please resend? I do not understand the question. Maybe the AS, you have AS or AS in the title. I don't know. I don't understand. Please let me understand it. If you can rephrase it for me to understand, or let me just come back to, if I can hear you, Justin. Okay, to just, can you ask the question verbally? Because I have unmute you now. Hello?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, is it appropriate to end with yours sincerely when you already have MS as Miss in your title?
Okay, yes, MS means Miss. I use it to indicate
I know, is it
Miss.
appropriate? I know.
Okay, so yes, you can end with yours sincerely. Are there any people making rules about the way to address a lady? It's a formal letter, whether it's a lady I'm addressing it to or a man, it's a formal letter. So I am addressing her based on her office, not necessarily based on her person, despite the fact that I use a name, because some people will say, why not say dear librarian? Okay, you can say that, nothing bad, but the British people address people by name. They don't have a problem addressing someone
sorry,
of high authority by name.
Okay, in one of the Ielts tutors, online, they mentioned that if you, in your title, if you already have an S in the title, you should not end with yours sincerely.
No, yours is just a salutation. It doesn't refer to the person. It's yours sincerely. You are just greeting the person, yours sincerely. Miss is just, I could use Mr., I could use Miss. The first one I drafted was a Mr. So Miss, I don't know, maybe the S means something in that one, but if it's Miss as the title of a lady that is single or maybe does not use our husband's name, so there's nothing inappropriate with that.
All right, thank you very much.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so have explained that. The person using techno purview is still raising his hand. Okay, this time around, let me unmute if I can hear you and see if you can talk. Okay, please go ahead.
Hello. Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. You are live and clear.
Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, I just want to ask, using MS in place of a name, you know, I understand that MS means somebody who is divorced, either divorced or not, you know, as you have explained, or not, you know, being with husband or not using a husband's name. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So is it not going to be a kind of, you know, a just, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
You saying if I'm addressing someone or you are addressing someone as a miss,
Yes.
you could address a lady as a miss if she's not using her husband's name, or generally you do not know her marital status.
Status, yes. Can I use MS?
Yes, you can address a lady like that. I think maybe we might have an issue with that in this part of the world, but the people you are writing exam for do not have that.
Okay.
It can be used for a lady that is divorced, that does not use her husband's name, or that you do not know the marital status of the lady.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I understood it now. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, you are welcome. So the miss is just an address for someone. Okay, so that's just it. Okay. So I think I have written an introduction, though I didn't see our introduction. And I am trying to emphasize this because it's easy for me to go into writing 2 again, but I want us to get it right, because writing 1 will take 1/3 of the mark. As much as it's 1/3 you can score. Yes, and some people have told me that they use an excessive time writing 1, and then they had little time to do writing 2. Please, while practicing, master your time. 2, we will be doing writing 2 later in subsequent class. The number 2 thing is, if you have problem with time, maybe you writing 2 first, but that could be a problem too, because I've seen people do writing 2 first and time went by, they didn't do writing 1 at all. Okay, Evelyn, I will be coming to you. You said you have a question. Okay, please, what's your question?
Good evening, everyone.
Okay, good evening.
Please, is it appropriate to abbreviate in letter writing? Because
what do you want to abbreviate?
Right, so I think you wrote dear, like you abbreviated miss.
Are you referring to the fact that I said miss?
Abbreviate the miss, or you spell in full sentence like the MISS?
MISS is different from MS. MISS is used to refer to a single spinster lady. MS is used to refer to a lady you don't know her status, whether she's single, married, or divorced, or used to refer to a lady that is not using her husband's name. So MS is different from MISS. So the MS I use is not the short form of MISS. It's just another form of miss used to refer to a lady of different or various status, or you don't know the status of the lady. Okay, so I don't think that should cause much controversy. It's just addressed, just like using Mr. MR just to stand for a man. You did not fully write the Mr. It is acceptable, but within the letter, it's appropriate you use the full word when you are writing something in a letter. If you are going to use abbreviation, write the full word first, bracket and write the abbreviation. Next time when you are making reference to it, you can use the abbreviation.
Okay.
Okay, someone said with the reference to the above mentioned subject. Okay, I would like to seek an extension of returning of the book I picked on January 14 due to an illness of my parent, my relative. Okay, I have a problem with reference to the above mentioned subject. What subject was that? You are writing a letter. You are not responding to a situation. If you were responding to a situation, okay, you can say reference to above mentioned subject. If a letter has been written before, then you are responding, you can use that method. So it will be better you say straight to the point, I am writing to seek extension on return of the book I picked on January, okay, due an illness of my relative. So I only have an issue with the part you wrote with reference to above mentioned subjects. Yes, so, okay, so that's the part I have an issue with. Okay, let me copy it and put it on my slide, not necessarily display the name of the person. Okay, so that we can all see. Okay, this was the introduction the person sent, said with reference to the above mentioned subject. Number one, the letter is not titled. Number two, you are not referring or referencing a letter that has been sent to you before. So I would say this part I am highlighting in red is not appropriate. So I would like to seek an extension of the returning of the book I picked up on 14th January 2018 due an illness of my relative. That is okay. So that is it. So your introduction, then go into the main body. Let me see if I can write something from the main body again in a variant way. So I hope you can just start writing. Most of the time people lose mark in this part because of coordination or the way you present your idea. Again, Mr. Okay, so the way you present your idea, that's why people lose mark in this part. Don't take it too casual. So I have written an introduction and I want to write another, okay. So I have said, dear Miss Ellen, I hope, I'm assuming that that is one of the name or the name of the librarian. Some people will prefer to use their librarian, but the British people prefer you possibly address a person. Yes, that's their method. They don't have an issue with that. Okay, so you can get a name. Okay. So I am presently I am with my sick sister. And I had to fly to be by her side when I got a call on the 7th of January that she was seriously ill. Okay, so I am making a case, I am telling them what happened. Okay, presently I'm with my sick sister and I had to fly to be by her side, but I got a call on 7th of January that she was seriously ill. Okay, I left in a haste due the nature of the emergency, and I took along the books, the library books in error of judgment, as I forgot I needed to return the books soon. Okay, have I met the objective? Okay, soon. That is on the, it seems my dates do not tally. Okay, my dates do not tally. 7th, I borrowed on the 14th, so let me just put February. Okay, that is on the 20th of February. Okay, so I am really sorry for the trouble. This might have cost the library and other students that needed to use the book. Okay, I will be posting the book to the school tomorrow through express delivery. Tomorrow, let me see, 22nd February. Through express delivery to arrive the next day. Okay, this is the next task. I said I will be posting the book to the school tomorrow, 22nd February, through express delivery to arrive the next day. So that is it. Okay, so I want to close my letter now. I can say, yours sincerely. Okay, so that's another variant way of writing the letter, which will still convey the message I'm trying to pass across. You need to tackle every issue that has been mentioned. Okay, I am really sorry for the trouble this might have cost the library and other students that needed to use the book. Because if you have borrowed book from library before, you will discover that some books are high priority. You need to return them on the day you promised to do. Okay, someone say, please, which is correct? I left in a ace due the nature, or I left in a ace due nature. Due the nature. I think I would prefer due the nature. Due to the nature is also correct, but due the nature is sharp and straight to the point. Yes, due to the nature is correct. Due the nature is correct. They are both correct. So that is it. Let me just paste it so that people, others can also learn from it, because these are the expressions I always say. You should not just be saying bland English because you are writing a letter and just keep writing anything. So this is the statement. Left in haste due the nature, or in a haste due the nature. Okay, both are correct. This is the point of the point the person is asking about. They are both correct statements. Okay, due the nature, or due to the nature. Okay, they are both correct. So that's just it. So so for writing one, for those who are doing general, I hope this will be able to help you start writing properly. Writing one, yes, for general. The next class will be dedicated to the academic people. Theirs is a bit more complex, but it is the same format we will still follow. So if you have any question or any comments before we close for the day, please let me know before we call it a day. Okay, please let me know. I don't want to open the floor for everybody because of recordings, and those who would like to watch it later. It's always very, very loud and disruptive on the video. So, but if you indicate that you want to talk, definitely. Yes, well, Mr. Kule is saying, yeah, due nature is iPro. Yes, I agree. They are both correct, but I said it categorically that I prefer due the nature rather than due to. Yes. Okay. If no one is making any comment, this letter is a formal letter. You are writing to the librarian of your school. It's a formal letter. Yes. Okay. Because it's an official situation, you took a book that you didn't return as on the official date. Okay. So I will be opening, unmuting everyone to just say a final word of goodbye, because no one has said. Those who have had comments to say, they've sent it to the sidebar, and Mr. Kunle has even responded on the question he asked about due to the nature or due the nature, and I said They are both correct, but due the nature is preferable. Okay. So I'll be unmuting now. I'll be saying goodbye to everyone till we meet again in the next class.
Thank you very much.
Okay. You are welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Isaac.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
I want to ask a question, please.
Okay.
Can we replay this video because I couldn't join when you started? I
Yes,
joined.
I'm going to put it on the YouTube link and I'm going to send the link. Please send a request that I send the link to you. And
Okay.
after you have checked on the YouTube, you can subscribe to the channel because most of the lectures will be put there. And I also do recordings that are not live recording that are not lectures for some special things, which I feel students need to watch every time. Like vocabulary development, I do a video every week, not necessarily in class. So you can, after watching on the YouTube channel, you can subscribe so that as soon as a new lecture is uploaded, you will be alerted.
Okay. Yes, this particular one, I will send you a link personally on my WhatsApp.
Yeah, send me a request for it. I will send it to you.
Okay, thank you.
You are welcome. So good night, everyone, and have a good night rest. So from here, I think writing one should be settled. You should be able to write effectively. Writing one for general writers.
General writers.
Okay.
Yes, sir.